Well, thank you guys all for staying tonight. I really appreciate it. I wanted you to kind of look around the sanctuary and just kind of take it all in and look around. I know you've been here a million times. I've seen you every week. But have you ever really paid attention to the design of the space and maybe even what its effect on your worship here is? What I want to do is I want to take a look at the effects of the space that we're in and how it relates to how we express our worship. So I want to kind of go over three big points. One, the joyous praise and worship of biblical times, as expressed there. The more introverted, internalized of the Renaissance, and then the more extroverted of our more modern worship. So in the biblical accounts, you see very meaningful but very joyous worship. And 1 Chronicles is a really good explanation of that. In 1 Chronicles 16, 8 through 10, David has just set up the tent for the ark, and he's teaching all the priests what to do, how to praise. And he says, give praise to the Lord, proclaim his name, make known among the nations what he has done. Sing to him, sing praise to him, tell of all his wonderful acts. Glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. And in the New Testament, often worship and food are put together as well. And the author Mark Allen Powell, who wrote the intro to the New Testament, says meals often symbolize nourishment and celebration. And in Luke's gospel, meals are depicted as often occasion for healing and hospitality, fellowship and forgiveness, and prophetic teaching and reconciliation as well. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds a bit like our modern church now, possibly even a potluck being Methodist. Now, both of those interactions, we're interacting with God in both those situations, whether it's in nature or with a group of friends or whatever. So jump forward about 1,000 plus years, and anywhere from the time of Emperor Constantine up until or through the Renaissance, there was a lot of big shifts in our worship spaces. And in the book Religion and Society, Harold W. Turner quotes Constantine, and Constantine's talking about how the new churches should be built. And he says they need to be a new architecture of a higher order, public in character, resplendent in material, and spacious in layout. And these churches were a reflection of the modern buildings at the time, the palaces and so on. But they're very oppressive too, even just looking at them from the outside. And on the inside, it's kind of a more muted awe, no loud voices, and you can't really let loose and worship in ways that we probably would today. So you move from one extreme to the other, from a very outward to a very inward. And I want to take a look at now today's sanctuaries, where it's a very different kind of expression of faith and inspiration too in the buildings that we're in. From 75 to 100 years ago, we've had a big shift. Now I want you to look around again and think and try to figure out what it is that you feel in this space. Do you feel connected to God? In the morning when light's coming in through the windows, does that stir your soul? I know for me it does. And modern sanctuary like this, with bare wood and open spaces, it feels much more comfortable and kind of allows us to be a little more in communal worship. But each space has its own feeling, its own personality, whether it's, again, out in nature or in a brick and stone building or something like this that we have here. But each of those spaces really affects how we worship and how we express that praise to God. And in different times and situations in your life, you're going to feel that, or you're going to find yourself in different places, and places to worship, and maybe places where you wouldn't expect to worship. Go with the feel of the space, and who knows, maybe it might be a little eye-opening, something that maybe you didn't expect. So, thank you very much.